This is Kathy Chase. The fact of the matter is, the federal government cannot just give my life, nor the lives of my children and I, away to presidents and civilians to do whatever they wanted, to have their way, to push us around, to beat us around for 7 years, to play war against us to blame us for their corruption. That's exactly what they've done. As I said, they can't explain the 7-Year War. They can't explain the 7-Year War in history has nothing to do with me. Okay? So, as I said, they cannot explain what this past 7 years is about. They said they wanted me to uncover their puzzle, and I'm entitled by First Amendment rights to have my own opinion, and I've also stated separately that the federal government can have their own opinion or, decision in regards to the matters. I can have my own opinion, and it doesn't have to reflect the federal government. I'm entitled to have my own opinion. I don't know what the federal government's opinion is about it. From what I understand, the matters of which the data is not of the federal government's. As I said, they didn't have the rights to plan this with my life, nor my children. Which is why they used my children as weapons. They didn't have the rights to do this to me. Therefore, they wanted to use my kids as human shields during this whole 7 years, which was all illegal. As I said, they wanted to traffic me to uncover their crimes, and in the midst of me uncovering their crimes was their intent of espionages for their schools to inside trade with tech corporations. Okay, the espionages of various sorts, many types of espionages conducted by presidents because they are criminals. Okay, the declassifications were only forced because they're criminals, okay? The federal government cannot kill me. They could not kill me. Therefore, by the presidential crimes, forced declassifications, okay? And the declassifications were for embezzlement, okay? Embezzlement and inside trading. Okay, that's where they got the anti-M from Wizard of Oz and the MC squared with the Shamrock and Georgetown area, Shannon Hubert Bartusek, her name, and the Danbury address, Dan Hedgeland, with Barry Soetoro, which is Barack Obama. Okay, they cannot explain this past 7 years other than that's the fact. And they won't admit to that, of course, that their intent was espionage, but they trafficked me for 7 years for war, knowing that would be the results. They said to play school, so their intent, they said, was Apple inside trading with Apple Corporation and so forth. Espionage. That's at least one espionage they have admitted to. And then, as I said, as far as seeing Bono from U2, in regards to the internet tariff, in which they keep trying to kill me over, which originated from the concept of Joel Gibson living at 5510 Quail Ridge Circle, him being connected to Jeb Bush, okay? Joel Gibson. He was at 5510 Quail Ridge Circle, across from where I grew up. And they sideways the internet tariff with bridges on guitars, Gibson guitars, right? It's sideways. And they think they're going to kill me over a tariff. And then they sideways the guitar bridge sideways with the Scottish Rite and the Star Trek the show. Star Trek the show, the phrase "beam me up, Scotty," It has nothing to do with internet tariffs and Gibson guitars. Okay, they intended vandalism. And at what extent people will recognize, but in my opinion, it's worldwide vandalisms. And they like to hurt people, they like to kill people, and they like war. They have admitted that they like to cause war and to promote war. Like, as I said, once again, they can't explain the 7 years with my life. I can't explain the 7 years with my life, and I couldn't have not been able to get them to stop harassing me, to leave me alone. They keep putting me in one compromising position after another. They put me in this, they forced me, entrapped me in this area of my father's house, using, as I said, St. Barb's and Barbara Eden. Evidence is my father is brainwashed to think he is Larry Hagman from I Dream of Jeannie. They got him brainwashed to think he's my master slave driver, right? Okay. St. Barb's is a story in history about the damsel in distress who kills her father. And then somewhere, I guess, Larry Hagman, you know, who shot JR or whatever. It's sideways with the Hague trials, World War II. Mr. Chuck Hagel, who's related to the Huberts, and Justin Hubert. They used to, when I knew Shannon growing up, she called her brother JR. They called him JR for Justin Hubert. As I said, people don't own my life. I'm not their sacrifice for their crimes. I have done nothing wrong. I've done the best of my ability in the midst of sabotage to be able to do the best I can do under the circumstances. As everybody knows, they planned and plotted World War III technological warfare. And there's never been this ever in history. So as far as the federal government's concerned, there was no handbook on my situation. As I said, if I would have been a president and being in my situation, I would have drew up papers or whatever to have, with my exposure, to have gotten me to the hospital in the beginning. I will not go to the hospital until people are prosecuted now. I don't have to go. They want to blame me for their espionages. They want to blame me for, you know, them wanting to profit from my life. They call me a slave. They say they want to shoot me in the back, calling me a slave, mocking me with equal rights. The federal government knows this very well, that I never gave any conflict. I still don't give any conflict over their so-called power issues. These people want to complain for 7 years that they can't do the job of being president of the United States and blame me for it. Okay? There is not a single thing that I would do the same as these people. These people are nuisances. Nothing but corruption and nuisances and childish behaviors. They want to hide behind Hollywood people. They're not professional. All they've done is lied for 7 years. As I stated, they do not know still where they got the 7-year war from. They want to accuse me. First they said they had a contract on my career, and then they say I'm trying to commit treason later on. They don't even know what they're talking about. Meaning they can't explain where they got the 7-year war from. They've been fighting me for 7 years and they can't explain why. And they wanted to put me in the middle. I would have left Lincoln had I known. You know, if I could have got custody of my children because they wanted to hold my kids as hostage and abuse them to keep me here. If I would have been able to get custody of my children, I would have left. Obviously, I don't want to sit here and play private eye for uncovering corruption of presidents when they mock me with their presidential powers because they're criminals. That's all these people do all day. Mock me with their corruption and my children. They've got crime scenes around Lincoln, Nebraska saying, proving they wanted to use my children to entrap me here because they could not do this legally. And as I said, the federal government cannot, could not, will not be able to give my life, nor my children's lives to the presidents and civilians for plotting against us for no reason. They didn't want to work with me in the beginning. That's their problem. They forced an investigation upon themselves because they wanted to traffic me for extortion, entrapment, sabotage, and I don't know, embezzlement. They wanted to embezzle money from technology and government. They wanted to traffic me for embezzlement. As I said, anti-M from, and their E equals MC squared with Shamrock and the four-leaf clover and Hitler. They wanted to beat me and my children up for 7 years, and they can't explain why. Because they wanted to, they had all these crimes lined up for, 30 years? They wanted me to wake up and uncover them to traffic their own crimes for embezzlement to force declassification. Then they wanted everybody to fuss over them. And they plotted and planned to use Hollywood to try to hide behind, okay? For their embezzlement from the federal government. Anna, be good. Don't do that, please. They planned embezzlement, and that's why they hide behind Hollywood, okay? They can't do that. As I said, they cannot explain the 7 years. I'm tired of the entrapment. I'm tired of being trafficked. They call me a slave and say they're going to shoot me in the back using Robert Chase and play Catch-22 because of the Chase family name said that they wanted they tricked me into a marriage with Rob. Waited till I had kids because they're a bunch of cowards, Richard Chase. They wanted to traffic me for a forced coup against the federal government, which is not mine. It'll never be my coup. And people within the federal government know that, and I know that, and the presidents are the ones that are the real coup because they're communists and so forth. As I said, they wanted to traffic me. Okay, I'm trafficked. Okay? I'm trafficked. They forced me. They had all these crimes lined up, right? Because they're hardcore criminal mafia. Which has forced reoccurring declassifications in the federal government. Okay? Don't. Please be good. Has forced reoccurring declassifications in the federal government for purpose of embezzlement. Embezzlement is when you have a product or something in which you profit from illegally. Meaning the product would be classified files, okay? The product would be, or the object of the embezzlement would be classified files. Classified files, they use classified files to traffic me by force because I'm exposed. Okay, the other object here is that Kim and Shannon are both exploited. They have helped they've trafficked themselves purposely. Now, I haven't trafficked myself intentionally, but the federal government knew that there was other people trafficked with me, but it was by their choice. Shannon and Kim are criminals with the presidents, okay? I'm the only one that's not a criminal. Between, I guess, 5 of us, Chase family are criminals because they wanted to hold me hostage here to investigate whatever the federal government says about that. They're abusing my kids with Shannon and Kim, trying to pose as me, lying about me behind my back. As I said, Kim and Shannon are yellow. They have been trying to steal my identity. Part of the Ponzi scheme with George W. Bush. He thinks he's going to kill me. That's why they initially blocked the media. Was for identity theft, and identity theft only for their Ponzi scheme. Okay?